Welcome back to the deep dive. If you're listening, chances are you value, well, getting real insight efficiently. And achieving that today, it really demands one key skill that feels like it's uh, fading fast: focus.
Exactly. And that's the paradox, isn't it? We're swimming in information, constant pings, notifications. Our attention is just shattered. So the ability to actually concentrate deeply without getting pulled away, that's become incredibly rare.
Hmm. Rare and valuable. It seems like that deep focus is maybe the single biggest thing separating people who truly innovate or master something
Mm.
from those keeping busy. We've been digging into Cal Newport's work, specifically his ideas around deep work.
Right. And our goal here isn't just to talk about it. We want to unpack the how. How can you actually build this skill? Because the main idea is pretty straightforward. The really valuable creative work, it only happens when your mind is fully locked in, zero distractions.
Okay, let's dig into that.
So first things first, we need to be clear on what we're aiming for. And maybe the easiest way is to define what it isn't. Newport splits work into two main types.
Yeah, the first one is shallow work. And let's be honest, this is probably most of our day for many people. It's the stuff that doesn't demand a ton of brain power, often done while distracted, like checking email constantly, firing off quick replies, those endless status meetings, switching tasks because your phone buzzed.
Exactly. And the sneaky thing is, it feels productive. You're clicking, you're typing, you're responding, you seem busy. But honestly, these tasks rarely create lasting value. They're easy to replicate, they don't really build expertise.
Okay, so that's shallow. What's the flip side? Deep work.
Deep work, this is where you focus completely, no distractions, on something genuinely tough mentally. It's the state where you push your thinking limits. And that's how you learn hard things, solve tricky problems, or create something genuinely new.
And what's really interesting from the source material is that this isn't just about getting more done, right? There's a deeper benefit.
Oh, absolutely. The connection Newport makes is to, well, life satisfaction. It seems that spending time in that deep focus state,
Yeah.
it gives you a stronger sense of purpose, of accomplishment. It's almost like deep work provides meaning, not just output.
I like that, connecting focus to fulfillment, not just productivity charts. Because for anyone listening who feels overwhelmed by constant information, the practical side is huge. I mean, even just 2 or 3 hours of real deep work, that can often achieve more than a whole scattered 8-hour day.
It really is a massive competitive advantage today. In our knowledge economy, everyone's expected to be online, always available. So the person who can actually unplug and concentrate, they're the ones who are going to master complex things faster.
And there are stories that back this up, right? It's not just a theory, like J.K. Rowling finishing Harry Potter.
Yes, that's a perfect example. She literally checked into a hotel, isolated herself completely. It wasn't just for quiet. She was engineering an environment specifically for deep work, removing all the other demands, creating a space where only that intense creative thinking could happen. That kind of commitment shows how vital focus was to the result.
It really underscores that sometimes you have to disconnect to create something significant. Or think about top scientists or programmers. Their breakthroughs don't come from endless meetings. They come from those intense bursts of concentration, solving problems, writing elegant code.
The results speak for themselves, but okay, we get the payoff. It's huge. But for a lot of us, the thought of, right, tomorrow I'll just do 3 hours of solid focus, it feels, well, impossible. Our brains aren't really wired for that anymore.
Which brings us to the really practical part. We see the why. Now, how do we actually do it? How do we train that focus muscle? Let's get into Newport's 4 rules for making this happen.
Yeah, these rules are all about structuring things, your time, your space, your habits to make the most of that limited attention we have.
Okay, rule number 1, work deeply. Seems obvious, but the advice is really about creating rituals. Designing your workspace, setting specific times, maybe using focus music, turning off notifications. Basically signaling to your brain, okay, now it's focus time, and then guarding that time.
But hang on, what about people in, say, open offices or jobs where you have to be reachable? Eliminating distractions sounds nice, but maybe not realistic for everyone.
That's a really fair point.
Yeah.
And the solution there is often about scheduling that isolation, even if it's not physical. You block out deep work time in your calendar, say 9 to 11 a.m. Treat it like an important meeting. Noise-canceling headphones maybe, a do not disturb sign. Let colleagues know you'll check messages later. It's not about perfect silence maybe, but about creating dedicated periods of cognitive solitude.
Okay, that makes sense. Rule number 2 then. This one feels like a big challenge today. Embrace boredom.
Right. Our focus muscle gets weak because the second we feel even a tiny bit bored waiting in line, the microwave boom, out comes the phone.
We're constantly seeking that little hit of stimulation, that dopamine rush.
Exactly. And Newport's point is that concentration takes effort. If you always escape discomfort or boredom instantly, you're training your mind not to stick with hard things. So the way to train it is, well, to actually tolerate being bored sometimes.
How does that look in practice?
Maybe it's taking a walk without your phone. Just sitting quietly for a few minutes. Or consciously deciding not to scroll social media while you wait for something. Just being okay with doing nothing or focusing on your own thoughts. It apparently strengthens the mind for when you need sustained concentration later.
Which leads pretty smoothly into rule number 3. Quit social media. Or at least drastically cut back. The warning here is about the cognitive cost.
You mentioned switching costs before. Maybe we should quickly explain that because that seems key.
Yeah, the switching cost is that mental lag. Even a quick 30-second glance at Twitter, it can take your brain like 20 minutes or more to fully get back into the complex task you were doing before. Each check just fragments your focus. You pay a mental tax every single time you switch.
Okay, but many people use these platforms for work, for networking. It's not always realistic to just quit everything cold turkey. How do you decide?
That's where you have to be really honest with yourself. Apply that utility test Newport suggests. Ask, is this tool absolutely essential for my main goals, or is it mostly just entertainment or slight convenience? If you realize that, say, scrolling Instagram endlessly isn't actually crucial for your work or deep personal aims, then minimizing it, or maybe even quitting, becomes a logical step for better focus. Digital minimalism, basically.
Right. Be intentional about the tools. Okay, and the last one, rule number 4, drain the shallows. Because shallow work, it still has to get done, right? Emails, reports, some meetings.
It does. And the problem is these little tasks tend to just spread out, interrupting the times you could be doing deep work. They creep into your best hours.
So the solution isn't necessarily to eliminate them, but to contain them.
Exactly. Control them, schedule them, batch them together. For instance, maybe decide you'll only process email for one specific hour in the afternoon. All those little admin tasks. Group them into a defined block.
This sounds like that fixed schedule productivity idea. You prevent the low-value stuff from constantly interrupting your peak focus times, like maybe the morning.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Protect those prime mental hours. Maybe even track your time for a bit to see where all the shallow stuff is actually happening, then be ruthless about corralling it.
Okay, so we've covered the rules. Design your space, tolerate boredom, cut the fragmenting tools, batch the shallow stuff. What's the big message weaving through all this?
I think the core idea is that real success and even real fulfillment doesn't come from just doing more. It comes from doing better, from intentionally choosing to go deep on the things that actually matter. It's almost an act of resistance, reclaiming focus in a world that constantly wants to distract you.
So a challenge for you listening right now. Take these ideas and try to apply one thing. Look at your schedule for this week. Can you find just 1 hour, maybe every day, put the phone away, kill the notifications, and dedicate that single hour to your most important, mentally demanding task? Just try it.
That one focused hour, done consistently, it really could change things significantly for you. And it leaves us with a bigger question, doesn't it? Thinking about society as a whole. What are we losing because of this collective drift towards constant distraction? What big ideas, what art, what breakthroughs might we be missing out on because we're prioritizing constant connection over deep creation?
Something to think about as you carve out that first deep work block. AI voice outro message. AI voice outro message. Thank you for listening to this episode. AI voice outro message. Remember, focus is the key to real growth and meaning in life. AI voice outro message. This podcast was created through a collaboration between human creativity and artificial intelligence, AI voice outro message, to inspire your journey toward deeper work and success. AI voice outro message. Follow our channel for the next episodes and keep growing with us.
Thank you for tuning in to ReadSnap Podcast, where powerful ideas meet simple insights. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, follow, and share it with someone who loves personal growth as much as you do. New episodes drop every week, so stay inspired, keep learning, and see you in the next one.